Friends, Romans, countrymen, lend me your ears. Hey, what's up guys, it's Fish here, and welcome back to Rome 2. What a glorious sight to behold. I am so excited that they are making content for Rome 2 again. I always feel like Rome 2 was just such a great game. It's by far the best era in my opinion, and I'm so glad they're going back to it and giving it some more love. Not only with the new DLC they just announced, Empire Divided, which if you're looking forward to, make sure to subscribe to my channel, as we will be doing a Let's Play on that as soon as it comes out, as well as a bunch of interesting and fun battles. But not only that, they're also going to be giving a free update, a free patch to Rome 2. You don't have to buy the new DLC for it, you just have to own Rome 2, and you are going to be getting this new patch. And at the moment it's currently in beta. You can go ahead and download it right now if you want to. Just bear in mind it is a beta patch. You can go ahead, and I think all you have to do is just right click on Rome 2 in Steam, go to Properties, Betas, and then it should be called Power and Politics, which is, you know, what the main patch is all about. It is about politics, and I feel like that's one of the things that Rome 2 always really lacked. You know, they never had, you know, the whole thing about, when you think about ancient Rome, you think of all the backstabbing in the senates and all the parties and the assassinations that went on and the struggle for power, and I really feel like that was one of the things that Rome was really missing. And it's great to see them actually coming back and sticking this in and not even charging for it as well, because I feel like this could be a feature they could, you know, stick in a DLC and say you're only allowed to get it if you get the DLC. It's just free if you own Rome 2, which is amazing. So basically what the politics system does is it now splits up your generals and statesmen, which you can see here, into all different parties, which is really interesting. Each party has their own traits, which you'll have to try and please. They also have their, you know, their popularity within the Senate itself. So you can see that my house at the moment, House Cornelius, only has 25% influence, and then the other three houses all have their own influence as well. So it's a real power struggle at the start of the game as Rome. And as you can see, as I mentioned, you have their loyalty. So if these, I believe if they kind of reduce their loyalty and the loyalty goes into minus, it's very, very likely that they will go ahead and declare war on you. And they've kind of got rid of the civil war mechanic, and they've got it so that now political parties now own provinces. I'm not sure if it's going to show it at the beginning of the game, but basically if you go here and go to this map mode, yeah, you can see. So at the moment we have House Cornelius, my faction, owns this, and then the House Junii own this. So at the moment I can use everything within my power. You know, I can go ahead and build down here if I want to. This is still, you know, my faction. But however, if this house, I think it was House Junii, or no, yeah, it was this house right here. If this political party goes ahead and, you know, the loyalty breaks down, it goes to minus, and this thing fires over here. At the moment, it's protected for the first 20 turns, so you can kind of get used to it. But if, you know, if this kind of goes and it fires because these guys are unhappy with me, then these factions, the provinces that they own, will go to them, and they'll have, you know, all these provinces at the beginning of the game, or at the beginning of this kind of mini civil war, and we'll have to duke it out to see, you know, who is the top dog within Rome. And I think that's really cool and a really interesting way to approach it. That they're actually making it so that, you know, there's actually a story behind a civil war. Instead of civil wars just springing out of nowhere and random things going, you can see the strength and the power, and this will kind of represent the amount of strength they have in the Senate. So if a faction was to say have a huge influence right here, I'm pretty sure it will show them with more provinces, you know, on this leaderboard. And at the moment, because the empire is kind of small, the other two factions don't have it, but you will see your empire kind of fragmenting off, and the political powers does seem to kind of stay together, which is really interesting, because again, if you have multiple houses who are unhappy with you and your loyalty drops, then you're going to have to be fighting, you know, huge sections of your empire falling, and all the characters, if you have generals in them armies, all of their armies will, you know, secede to the new nations which they've, you know, kind of gone away from you. It's just really, really cool. So let's go ahead and just mess around in the game for, like, I don't know, like 10-15 minutes, and we'll really just get a good idea. So obviously the first thing we will have to do is spam out the Roman Astarte, and just look at that. Rome is so disgusting in this game. Turn 1, and I'm building, what, 7 units of Astarte. I believe Rome gets some crazy ass buildings which just like make it so that you can pump out units. I mean, it is Rome after all, right? We don't even need to actually do this, I don't think. I want to do this at the end of my turn. My mistake, sorry. It's been a little while since I've last played Rome. We want to first start off by moving our spy up north. And then once we see the Etruscan army, we want to go ahead and smash it with all our might. We are also just playing on medium as well. I just felt like it was easy just to run through the game. However, we will also be, you know, obviously I play on very hard in all my Let's Plays. So if you're looking like, oh, this guy's a bit of a noob, don't worry. We'll be playing on very hard and really getting into the challenge. Something they also added in this 3LC as well is the new kind of tech trees for your generals as well, which again are a really, really nice addition. So we have the same for our traditions, but then when we go to our generals, you can see you now have a tech tree you can kind of go down. And again, it's really nice just to be able to see what you're working towards instead of just kind of blindlessly doing it like in Rome 2. You actually have, you know, you can actually decide, oh, I want this general to go ahead and power down and get infantry commander. I also believe you can also tier up these abilities as well, which again is really, really nice. They've also added in a few more like skills and trait things here, so you can see that my leader at the moment, he does have the dictator buff as well. First among equals, which is kind of cool. Public order, more gravitas, and also upkeep for land units, which is really nice. And tax, that's a brilliant ability. And obviously everyone else will also, if we go to characters, also get their own kind of variants, which again kind of just gives a bit more personality to these guys. You can see their entire stuff there. Also, they made it so you can't actually promote your own general, because I think they would find, like, it kind of feels a bit dumb that you're like promoting someone else over your general when he is, or your faction leader when he is the top dog, you know. He is the Senate, which is kind of cool. You guys can tell just how excited I am to be back here and playing this. So let's go ahead and take a look at our parties. That's something we haven't actually done. We can also secure their loyalty if anyone is wavering a little bit. So this guy first for power. This goes ahead and just minus 10% loyalty if the party's influence is lower than this one. So at the moment his influence is, what, 25%? Ours is 23%. So we are currently suffering from that debuff right there. He's also a xenophile. He's obviously been playing too much Stellaris. And plus 2 loyalty for each faction with which we've established. So he likes it when we go ahead and meet other people. So this, we can stack this up. So if we make treaties with diplomatic treaties with 5 factions, yeah, with 5 factions, we'll go ahead and get more loyalty from him. We also have a populace as well, minus 10 loyalty for every level of tax above average. So if we were to increase our tax level, he wouldn't like that, and every time we stick it up, he would go ahead and lose loyalty for his party. Now this faction leader trait right here, you can see it's right there, can be removed. So if there is someone, is anyone with an awful one? Out of interest, let's have a little look-see. That's kind of nice, that's pretty cool. So this guy hates barbarians. Say for example, and this is a very, very extreme example, I wanted to be friends with the barbarians. Yeah, I'm sorry guys, I just have to say it for the example. No one wants to be friends with barbarians. But say for example I did, and this guy was really, really standing in my way. Maybe have the biggest party in my empire with a bunch of my cities, and I really needed to keep him on side, and all his other party traits were fine. And what I could do is I could assassinate this guy and kill him so that someone else would take over. And that would actually mean that this party trait, this leader trait right here, would actually go away. So you can actually kind of get rid of this last trait, which is, again, really, really cool. I like it that, you know, these 3 just aren't stuck in from the beginning. You can maybe try and, you know, mix around and try and get someone else into power who might agree with your agenda. Oh yeah, they also added in a new government types as well, so you can actually change governments. At the moment, I need level 5 Imperium to go to an empire and more influence in my ruling party, and it would cost me some money and give me some instability whilst we kind of transfer from the Republic to the Empire. But again, it's just like some really nice changes which make Rome feel very refreshing. It really does. I'm very impressed with it. So let's bring Scipio up here. Also, yeah, you can actually jump straight to the party like this and the character screen. So we can see Scipio, obviously my faction leader. Down here, we'll go ahead and pump him out to Mastati, down here in the south, because he is actually in a different region. God, even down here in Magna Graecia, I can get 5 units. That is filthy, absolutely filthy. I think for now, actually, this army's fine, because what I'll do is I'll use Scipio to go up there and take that out, yeah, to go and level him up. Because obviously, we want to use Scipio because the political parties love it when we win battles, so we'll get more of that loyalty when we go ahead and get more, when we win battles, they'll just be more loyal because I'm like, oh, this guy is leading Rome in the right direction, which is cool. Really, really cool. And again, you can see that this guy is part of this party, and obviously you just kind of understand the colors and stuff, you know, but this is House Julii, and I guess you'll get much more akin to it the more you play it and get used to it. So cool. Let's go ahead and end the turn. Oh, we need to do technology first, obviously. But basically, all my plan is here is just to kind of, you know, mess around with the game a little bit. Kind of have like 10, 15 turns, so we can kind of look more into the political, because I've messed around with it a little bit, you know, since they've made this beta live, but I haven't really gone too in depth in it, so it'd be kind of cool to mess on.
The gift of gold
now I
is often
remember
taken to be a sign of deep
one of my
affection
political
and
parties did have a hatred for Greeks, so doing this would annoy him, because I believe he is Hellenic culture. Yes, he is Hellenic culture, so doing this will annoy him. However, he is one of the weaker parties in my political system, so I don't really have to worry about that. And the same guy also hates barbarians, so I mean, he's Balkan though, right? Yeah, he's like here, right? So I don't know if these guys class as barbarians or not. I mean, I'm going to decline it just because I don't want them taking any of the land, but yeah, I think it's like this guy right here. And I'm pretty sure he's not though, he's a different culture group than barbarians. So now we can see that, because this guy hates Greeks, the loyalty will go down, right? Yeah, because we have apparently 2 treaties with Greeks. The loyalty, you can see that right there, hates Greeks, -4 loyalty. So that will continue to go down. And if he was, say, a really powerful person in my kingdom, I'd have to really worry about that. Has the political system changed much at all, out of interest? So at the moment, you can see that the Cornelius in my house has actually gained a bit more territory up here, which is great. Because I guess I just have more power in the Senate, so this does seem to go to me. And this is definitely worth checking, because I've noticed when I was messing around with it earlier today, that you definitely do see some provinces go to the enemy, or not the enemy, but other political houses, when you do end up, when they do kind of grow in the Senate, and you're not careful with them. Actually, what we're going to do, can we march into Rome? Because we can recruit an entire stack in like a turn in Rome. Rome is a glorious city to behold. We can indeed. Great. We have to go up here anyway. So let's just pump out all of these guys. Oh, that's disgusting. Literally is amazing. And then what we're going to do is we're just going to just siege this city. We're not going to attack it. We're just going to blockade the ports, hopefully reduce their economy a little bit, as we're also going to take out this city as well in a little bit. Or we should obviously also probably be building buildings as well. That would always help. Not that our economy is great. And the interesting thing is, as well, we can't really go ahead and... Oh, we actually do need food pretty desperately as well. Especially if we're building more buildings as well. Food is extremely important. So we will pick up a villa over here. Seems like we have a bit more money as well. So let's go ahead and pick up some more food down here in the south. You know, the province of Magna Graecia is always the grain pit of Italy in my campaigns. I always stick Sicily as being, you know, full of lots and lots of grain, feeding my empire, the breadbasket of my kingdom. So cool, let's go ahead and end the turn again. And I'll try and get like at least, I don't know, like 5, 10 turns, or like 10, 15 turns into the campaign, just so you guys can kind of see a bit about... Oh wait, we actually win this battle. LOL? How do we win this? Where are Gondor? Where are their armies? Just nowhere near. That's crazy. I honestly don't know where the Etruscan army's gone.
We still have a good wind.
That's hilarious. But I mean, can we just take their city now? Because they don't have a garrison? That'll make my life 10 times easier. That really, really will. So our commander Brutus has leveled up. Is he part of a... Oh, he would be. What? I guess he is part of one of these, right? Yeah. So our fleet commander is right here. And again, you can kind of level them up from this screen as well, which is kind of cool. We're actually going to pick up the movement range on fleets, which unfortunately you can't see. It'd be kind of nice if you kind of have the tech tree up, but I guess because you can level these skills up like this, you can kind of stick it up to the next level. That's kind of the reason why you can't do that. You can also hire statesmen as well. It'd also be really nice if you could see them, like when I click on this guy, I don't really know what he's good at. So it'd be kind of nice if I could just, you know, see their stats before recruiting them. But I imagine the game does go ahead and generate them after you've recruited them. Oh, also, something I completely forgot about is you now have this. You can send your statesmen, if they're just at home, not doing much, you know, they're not a general in your armies, you can go ahead and send them on missions. You can send them on diplomatic missions, which go ahead and try and make other factions friendlier with you. However, if it fails, if he has a low gravitas, I think they said on the stream, they aren't as likely to pass. However, if they do have a kind of a higher gravitas, then they're more likely to go ahead and improve relations. So that's kind of something you can do, and it also does an important thing. It also secures that loyalty, only for a set amount of turns, but it does secure it, which is pretty important. You can also do administration, which goes ahead and increases the gravitas of this character. So it's kind of a good way of boosting kind of the power of your party. Say if I have a statesman, we'll just go ahead and recruit one. Yeah, so we'll lose a few senators recruiting this guy, but now he's now in it. So if I wanted to go ahead and get him a little bit more gravitas, I'll send him to a region to go ahead and help them out and do some more stuff there, and that would be great. Or I can organize a feast, which would hopefully boost my food. And again, this one actually doesn't. This one actually reduces the loyalty of all parties, of all other parties. Oh, okay. Is it the same for this guy? Oh, okay, so when you do your own missions to kind of grab more gravitas, it actually, yeah, for your own house, it actually reduces it. Because the other factions are like, I guess, why is this guy trying to take all the limelight? However, these guys like you more when you send them on missions. Okay, that's kind of cool. I didn't know that. Then obviously you have the organized feast, which just goes ahead and I think gives you a bit more food. Again, it's just kind of like small changes they've added in, which I really, really like. It makes the game feel a lot more interesting. How weird. I guess their garrison's coming. I guess their garrison couldn't come out and fight on the sea, which does make sense. So we'll go ahead and obviously take this province. Easy business. No need to worry about that whatsoever. And we've now secured our region. Great. So we can go ahead and pass an edict. They have a couple more edicts as well. Party loyalty obviously just makes the parties, political parties ruling in this province. So again, if we tab out, take a look at it. Well, at the moment, it's my house. House Cornelia is currently residing in Italia. So there'd be no point me popping out that edict because it's my house and I don't need political stuff towards me. I need the loyalty of the other factions. So again, we can level him up. So we can't level this up yet because he's not level 4, but we can look and decide what we want here. So I guess we'll go ahead and pick up recruitment cost and authority. Authority's up to level 9 now. That's crazy. What, we're like 4 turns in and he's up to level 9. He's like 9 authority. One absolute monster. We'll grab up them iron tools. Our food should all be built next turn. And then we have this army, which is going to go ahead and go over to the Etruscan League and finish them off. I might also send this general just northwards. It's so nice as well. As much as I enjoy Warhammer, don't get... Look at that. As much as I enjoy Warhammer, like, don't get me wrong, it's just so nice being able to have, like, 3 armies at the beginning of the game. You just don't get that in Warhammer, and, like, it just feels so much nicer to have all these armies roaming around the battlefield. It feels more like a Total War game, instead of having to just rely on one army. You guys can tell, I'm so happy for all the historical stuff that they finally started to announce. Now that they were getting back on track with historical games, I'm really excited. I really, really am. So I guess we'll just do the generic bread and games. The tax would be nice, but I don't think we even make too much money. Well, we actually make a lot of money here, and we do make food as well. So I think what we're going to do is actually do tax harvest. 15% tax rate will be great. Okay, cool. Let's go ahead and attempt again. And again, I just want to kind of really try and jump through these turns as much as I can. So I'm not really playing optimally or anything like that. Just trying to get through the turns so I can show you guys as much as possible. Now, obviously, we'll retreat here, but hopefully we delayed them, kept their garrison at a low strength, just so that when our general, when Scipio does turn up, he can just smash this army without having to worry too much. Because I think it also stopped them from recruiting stuff as well. So there we go. Our tax harvest has popped into effect, which is really, really important considering just how many armies we have. I might just merge these guys if I can. Is it going to allow me to merge these guys? Do I have to select them? I'm not even sure how the merge works. There we go. Control M, of course. Rome is wonderful. Look at her grow. It feels good to be back. So let's just go ahead and max this army out before we march northwards. So I just want to take more land so that, you can really see how divided your empire can get and how not being, not worrying about your political system can really mess you up. Because what happens is the factions, as I said, just take the provinces they own. So yeah, as I've been saying, like the Junii will just literally secede from me, like the Confederates did to the Union, say this is our land now. Any generals they have, in their house will join them. So I think at the moment, is this guy Junii? So say for example, this guy was that faction, which I don't think he is. I think this guy is, yeah. So this fleet would go to this faction, and obviously they would then recruit more stuff, which is just really, really cool. I like the way they've done it. I really do. Is there anything else I'm forgetting? I don't think there is too much. Yeah, I don't think there's anything right I'm forgetting straight away. Yeah, cool. So, I mean, I'm sure stuff will pop up as well, which I'll be like, oh, yeah, because obviously, as I said, like, I'm very new to this patch, obviously only playing it, you know, they only made it available earlier today, so I'm still very much learning stuff just like you guys are. But do let me know in my comments down below what you guys are thinking of the patch. You know, and are you excited for the DLC? Obviously, they haven't talked about much of it yet. They've kind of, you know, announced what it is, and it has a Steam page and stuff. So you can kind of talk about the area and stuff. The area is really cool as well. Aurelius is an amazing, or Aurelian, I think he's Aurelian, right? Is an amazing, amazing Roman. He really is. He's like a farmer who kind of came from nothing. It's really cool. I guess we'll just move our fleet up here as well to keep this guy protected, and then we'll attack them next turn. Should hopefully be up there next turn, which will be great. I guess we'll move our spy up here. Probably should have moved her up earlier, but that's fine. So we just go scout out all the barbarian stuff, and now the next army is ready to go. Look at that movement range as well. I guess we'll wait an extra turn. Cool, motivated population, so we're going to be growing and getting more tax down here in the south. Absolutely perfect. I guess we'll get some grain pits. As I said, the bread basket of Italy will be down here in Magna Graecia. That's what we like to see. We could definitely upgrade some of this stuff as well. Maybe start getting some more commerce. Maybe even just building better ships down here in Arminium, maybe. Or maybe just upgrading this. This is more on my coast against Carthage, so maybe upgrading that would be great. Again, I just like having grain pits everywhere because the extra replenishment is really nice. And that does seemingly going to be on my economy. Actually, let's pick up a pit mine just to give us a bit more money as well. You'll move next turn, and you'll move. So cool. We'll probably just finish up these next two battles really quickly, just so hopefully you guys can see my empire dividing a little bit more. Politically, is there anything I need to worry about? Not really, because as I said, I'm protected for the next 16 turns. So you kind of have 20 turns to really kind of get used to this and kind of make sure everyone's secure and stuff. I believe you can also secure people's loyalty, but it does cost you a little bit of money. And you can also provoke them to make them not like you. So say, for example, there's one faction which is getting too big for their boots and you want to kind of force them into a war, then you can provoke them and cause them to actually go to war with you. And if the other two kind of houses are on your side, then that's a really good advantage you have right there. So at the moment, I don't think there's anything I have to really worry about. This guy's a bigot. So he only likes it when we have Latin culture everywhere, which I understand. Hey, Latin is the best. And then whenever we go ahead and get more trade, he's really happy. So more trade, the better there, which is good. It's just this guy. He just hates life. Hates Greeks, hates barbarians. He's just not a great guy. And he also doesn't like it. He's a populist as well. So yeah, whenever we raise tax. So that's actually a really easy trait to have, I think, for sure. So yeah, our political parties seem to be pretty reasonable, you know. I mean, at the end of the day, Rome is the best, so why would we treaty with anyone else anyway? So yeah, we'll just go ahead and smash these Etruscans. We'll just go ahead and smash the barbarians to our north. And hopefully we'll see a bit more of a party division, you know, now that we do have kind of like, I guess, 4 different areas. They want a trade agreement. Sure, I'll take your 400 gold, and then I'll come in and take everything else you have. So let's just go ahead and can we not attack? What if we do this? Will the army support? They will indeed. God, I'm such a pro at abusing the AI here. So we'll just occupy this. I mean, I think it actually does count as him taking it. So that's something I might not have wanted to do if I was worrying about this political party being powerful. Because if we click on this, you know, now he's just won a great battle, giving him more gravitas, giving him more influence in the Senate. So I might be like, oh no, I didn't really want to do that. I wanted to go ahead and win it with our faction leader, with Scipio. Is this Scipio? This is, right? Yeah, this is Scipio, yeah. So maybe I wanted to win with Scipio to get more gravitas. So maybe that was a bad idea for me to do that, which is, again, really interesting. We'll also send this guy just on a diplomatic mission to Athens. Why not? Carthage really don't like me. Yeah, we'll send him on a diplomatic mission to that. We'll go ahead and just declare war on this faction. We're playing on medium, so we should just be able to auto-resolve our way through. Maybe not. Okay, well, I guess we're not doing that. Retreat to the inner city. Yeah, okay, fuck. When I was messing around with this earlier, I just auto-resolved my way through it. Which is kind of funny. They also added in 4K capabilities as well on, if you have a 4K monitor, obviously. So if you do have a 4K monitor, then it's a great time to mess around with that. So do we see any division quite yet? Not quite yet, but maybe if I end the turn, we will. But yeah, whatever, we'll just end the turn. Because I want to see if any of these provinces will go. Because the other, factions in Rome do have a decent amount of power. And we might see them starting to rise up and be a bit more influential. Now, oh my god, something I would love to see now they've added this in is a bit of love for co-op campaign. Imagine how sick it would be. Oh, they attacked me as well. They actually have a better army than me. No one can beat starty spam. Yeah, something I would love to see. They actually run away from their city, the Falls. So yeah, something I would love to see from a co-op campaign is having you both playing as the same faction, and there we go, that's what I was talking about. You playing as the same faction, but you're both different political parties, and I think that would be so much fun, both playing as Rome and vying for control of the political system, all having these different territories, probably make it a bit more, like, important. Like if you take a province as your party, you're more likely to have influence in that, and maybe even make it like a culture bar, right? Make it so that you have a percentage that I don't even know what culture is, yeah, right here. So maybe you have a percentage which the province is under your political party, and the other player can go ahead and do stuff to reduce that and increase their own political party. Like that could just be so much fun for co-op campaign. And whether we get it in Rome, I doubt we will, but maybe in future Total Wars, I imagine they will look to do more stuff with this political system in future Total Wars, because I think it's a great hit, and I think a lot of you guys will really enjoy it too. So yeah, back to my other point, we do now see the House of Julii taking a province for themselves. So again, if they were to secede, they would go ahead and take this province with them when they do that. And if both of these factions were to secede from me, then they would do the exact same. Luckily, we have a nice power grip vote in Italia, which is awesome. But yeah, cool. I think that's where I'm going to end the video. I don't want to make this video too long. Hopefully, I gave you a good rundown of the 3LC. As I said, I'm still very much learning it myself. The beta only came out earlier today, but it's been so much fun to mess around with, and I can't wait for the new DLC, Divided Empire. Yeah, Divided Empire with the crisis of the 3rd century, the fall of Rome. I think that's going to be good fun. We're definitely going to be doing a let's play on that on my channel, and hopefully, please do, if you guys think this is good and you've been waiting for historical DLC, please do let Creative Assembly know, because you never know if they think, oh, this is actually a really good idea. We should definitely do more kind of throwback DLCs. Then maybe they'll go back to like Empire Total War and do a bit like a DLC for that. I mean, who knows what they might go back if this is successful. And I would love to see a DLC for the Empire Total War. Maybe even like an American Civil War DLC for that game. Holy crap, that'd be amazing. But yeah, so like if this is good and if this is enjoyable, obviously, we haven't seen anything from the DLC yet. But if it is good, make sure to let Creative Assembly know that, because, at the moment, if this 3LC is anything to go by and what they've added, then the DLC should be great. So hopefully it will be. So make sure to drop a like and a comment down below if you enjoyed this video, and I'll see you guys next time, and fish out.